beautiful day. The spring has finally arrived in the UK, and oh my goodness, does it really make a difference. It's just beautiful. Welcome back to my channel. I have just been to pick up a whole host of waste fabric. I am such a sucker for a bit of waste fabric because I feel like it can go so far. I've picked up a whole host of beautiful different things, including some bits that I think are going to be used in my lounge project that I'm about to embark on. So with that in mind, in today's video, I am going to take you through the process of me putting together the sample board for our lounge project, as I say, that I'm about to begin. The sample board is kind of a place where every finish that is included in your space is on that board. So you can really get the feeling of how it's all going to be once it's all pulled together. The finishes, the textures, the layers. So it's a very exciting process. It's probably potentially my favourite. Yeah, do let me know at the end what you think of the ideas. As with everything with my Sanctuary number 8, everything you see on there is waste fabrics. The paints that you see are also non-toxic, VOC free. Let's get into it. Okay, so this is my board. So I personally prefer to use these kinds of boards as opposed to a tray. That is just because of my current situation, purely for storage. Whilst I don't have a big design studio, these really are great for storage because I can pin on samples. They still look lovely, and then I can lift them up, store them away. Any hard samples such as metalwork or woodwork I pop in a bag and then I pin to the board, and they can just be slotted away and stored easily. However, they still work just as beautifully, if not better, than a tray. So let's get going. The way I like to start is I start off with my elements that are really going to be the biggest factor within the room. Now, my inspiration for my lounge project is actually this paper here. I came across this. I'll put the links to where everything is from, the colours, etc., in the description box below. But this wallpaper is actually the thing that I found that is providing the inspiration for the entire space in our lounge project. I just thought it was beautiful. I love the different colours of blues that are used, just the very calming, beautiful foliage that you can see. It's quite subtle, but there's a very subtle metallic use in there too. So this is, like I say, the thing that's going to form the basis that everything is going to work around. So I'm going to go in with my sample board with that first. Let me get my pins and then we'll just pin that on. So this paper, like I say, is the main basis of inspiration for the room. However, I'm not actually going to be using it on the walls. I was going to be using it with some of the cabinetry, but I have changed my design. However, this is going to be used for some artwork. As I say, it is the main bulk of inspiration for the room, so that's why I've made it quite a big element on my board, because everything kind of spans from here. So next up, I'm going to pop on my colour that we've chosen for the walls. Now, I'm going to basically colour drench the room. So the ceilings are going to be in this colour, the walls are going to be in this colour. There are no doors. However, we do have a doorway into the kitchen, so the door frame will be this colour. So this is an Edward Bulmer colour. It's called Frankie, and it's actually from his kind of nursery children's range. Edward Bulmer paints are really lovely because they are 100% natural. They are chemical free. You can even compost them, which I am obsessed with that. The disposal of paint is a bit of a nightmare. I don't actually dispose of paint because they can always be used at a later date. But nevertheless, if you want to, you can compost this paint, so it's a win-win for me. As with all of our projects and with all of my design projects, everything I will always endeavour to use as much chemical-free products, as eco-friendly, as non-toxic as possible. So I am a real lover of his paints. His pigments are also gorgeous. So this is called Frankie. It's a beautiful kind of clotted cream colour, really rich and yummy. In certain lights you can see here it's quite a light cream. In other lights, in a slightly darker light, it's almost got a yellowy tinge to it, but it's a really warm tone, and I really like that to kind of give the room a warm, beautiful feeling. I'm just going to pop this little sample on here. This is some moulding that I'm going to be using for a picture board that I already have in the lounge. So I'll pop that there, and I've also painted that in the same colour. So now I'm heading into the territory of soft furnishings. I'm obsessed with this way of sourcing fabrics because it's using waste, and you know, often with these things, especially if you're going for cushions, etc., you don't need a vast quantity of fabric. Anyway, so I'm going to go in with this one, which is actually the backing of this already. I love this fabric. It's a really thick, beautiful kind of cotton, thick cotton textured fabric, which I love. So these are all possibilities for the main cushions that I'm going to use within the space. This fabric is left over from my daughter's bedroom. I had her curtain made out of this fabric. Got this gorgeous kind of herringbone pattern on it in a very kind of stony, oatmeal-y colour. So I love that. So I'll pop that one in there. Just like to arrange them nicely. Now the next one, again, love this one. This was from my local wrap centre. This gorgeous branch foliage print, again bringing in the foliage from the paper, and I love the mixture of tones in here with the cream, the dark brown, the beige. Love that, adding in a little bit of interest. And then the final one, again, this is left over from actually a previous one of my furniture projects from my shop. This was used, I used this to reupholster a gorgeous big old armchair that sold in my shop a couple of years ago actually, but I've still got the fabric left over. This is just, again, a gorgeous, quite durable, thick cotton in this lovely stony colour. So we'll pop that there. So those will form the basis of my main cushions within the space for the sofa. One thing to note is the sofa I am going to be attempting anyway to reupholster. The sofa is 12 years old. However, it's the most comfortable sofa ever. And you know what? I want to give myself, in the manner of reuse and creative reuse, I want to give myself the project of reupholstering it. So I'm on the hunt for a fabric to recover all the cushions. So it will be along this kind of line. And then I've got a few fabrics that are just going to kind of be more accent cushions potentially, if they're used. I think they will be. So again, very, very similar fabric to this one. It's just a very slightly different tone. Might be used, might not, I'm not sure. However, it's the kind of fabric that I'll always use somewhere. And then I've also got this beautiful light blue, I think it's a cotton. Oh, it's a 55% linen, 45% cotton. You can see there, that colour, stunning. So again, brings in these lighter tones in the paper there. So that may well feature within the cushions somehow. And then I've got this other fabric that I just am obsessed with because I love a stripe. It might be used again, might not, I'm not sure, but I just loved it. And so I had to pick it up. Again, it's from my local wrap centre. And I just think it kind of works in a tonal clashing kind of way. Yeah, I just think there's something about it that really works there. So that will potentially be used in some way, like so. liking that. Let's just pop that like that maybe. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I just decided to move those over there. Now, the final thing that I'm going to go in with is more upholstery. I've got this stunning boucle fabric here that I may well reupholster a chair that we have in the lounge with. Again, picked up from exactly the same place. Stunning boucle fabric there in this kind of off-white. So that may well be used. Like I say, it's a bit of a reupholstery job. And then I've also got this other fabric here, which I've only got a small amount. Let me actually show you. I just cut that off to add to the sample, but the actual fabric itself has this beautiful, almost like a cow parsley actually, print on it. Now I only have a small amount, so this will be used to maybe make like a little bolster cushion, which could potentially go on this chair. And I just love, again, how the foliage really ties in with the paper. Again, I'm just tying everything back to my main source of inspiration. So that could be a bolster cushion, purely because of the quantity of the fabric that I have on there. And then the final thing, which will be curtains. I already have the curtains. I picked them up. They were actually in the bargain corner at IKEA, which I know isn't a second-hand situation, but they're seconds, and I'm going to be altering them and adding to them. There's going to be some trim added there. And then the hardware for the curtain rail and stuff is going to be a kind of brushed, antique, brushed gold finish. So that is basically it. I've just got a tiny little bit of lace trim that I want to add in. There will be some other bits of trim added as well as the project goes along. I want to get some kind of trim to tie in the blue into the cushions. We already do have some navy velvet cushions for the sofa, which will also be in there, but obviously they're existing, so I may well take some pictures and add those too. The final things to add would be, we're going to be creating some wooden cabinetry for some storage. I don't know the wood finish yet, so that will be added at a later date. And what was the final thing that I needed to add as well? Like I say, some extra other trim that will be used for the cushions, and also the lighting. I have not finalised my idea for the lighting, so there may well be something added to that as well. But this is it. This is the general gist and the idea for what my lounge project is going to look like. And if you are wanting to do a sample board for yourself, then this is what you do. It is literally a collection of pretty much everything that you are going to use within your room to bring it all together, to really give you the idea of how your space is going to all be tied together. Like I say, I love to kind of start off with the main element or the inspiration to really kind of make sure that everything is anchoring back to your inspiration, your kind of key element that you want to incorporate the most. So that is basically it. I hope you found this video informative. I hope you found it useful. I'm excited to see the sample board come to life. This is our lounge behind us, just to give you a sneak peek of the before. There's not much to look at. It is the most mismatched, neglected room in the house. Please please subscribe to my channel so you can follow along and see how it turns out. If you've got any questions, pop them below and I will try my best to answer them. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching and see you in my next video.